Welcome to episode 32 of the 5-Minute Warfare podcast. Just a quick heads up before we get into the episode, this show is getting a new name. We're rebranding as Compact Warfare, part of the new Compact Histories network. You can find us at compactwarfare.com, which will take you straight to our new home under compacthistories.com. There's nothing for you to do as the episodes will stay right here in your feed. Just look out for the new branding and links to the new website. Right, with that being said, let's get on with episode 32, The Rise of Cyber Warfare. War isn't what it used to be. These days, the front line doesn't always involve soldiers, tanks, or fighter jets. In fact, some of the world's most dangerous battles now happen in complete silence, behind computer screens, across invisible networks, with no warning at all. Welcome to the world of cyber warfare, where the battlefield is digital and the consequences are very real. So what exactly is cyber warfare? Put simply, it's the use of digital attacks by one nation or group to target the infrastructure, economy, or security of another. These aren't the kind of attacks you'll see on the news with explosions or air raids. They're often invisible. Computer systems are hacked, data is stolen, power grids are shut down, or false information spreads like wildfire online. And here's the frightening part. Cyber attacks can happen from anywhere in the world, reaching across borders in seconds. It wasn't always this way, of course. Cyber warfare as we know it is still relatively new, but it's grown quickly alongside our reliance on technology. Today, just about everything depends on computers, from electricity and water to hospitals, banks, and government systems. One of the first major wake-up calls came in 2007. The small country of Estonia, known for its advanced digital systems, was hit by a massive cyber assault. Government websites, banks, and news outlets were knocked offline for days. Many pointed the finger at Russian-backed hackers, though proving who's behind these attacks is often tricky. Since then, cyber warfare has escalated rapidly, and it's only getting more sophisticated. Let's take a look at a few real-world examples. In 2010, a piece of malicious software called Stuxnet made global headlines. It targeted Iran's nuclear facilities, physically damaging equipment without any bombs or soldiers involved. Most experts believe it was a joint US-Israeli operation. But of course nobody officially claimed responsibility. A few years later, in Ukraine, hackers managed to shut down parts of the national power grid, plunging thousands into darkness. Again, the attacks were traced to suspected Russian groups. And then there was the 2017 WannaCry ransomware attack. It spread across the world, locking computers and demanding payment to unlock them. Even the NHS in the UK was hit, causing chaos in hospitals. That attack wasn't officially state-sponsored, but it showed how vulnerable essential services really are. Perhaps the most infamous case, the alleged Russian interference in the 2016 US presidential election. This wasn't about crashing servers. It was a more subtle assault, using hacking, leaks, and disinformation campaigns to undermine trust and disrupt democracy. These examples show that cyber warfare isn't always about damage to physical structures. Sometimes it's about manipulating information, spreading fear, or eroding confidence in governments. So why has cyber warfare become such a popular tool for modern nations? Well, for starters, it's cheap compared to building armies or launching missiles. You don't need soldiers on the ground when you can unleash chaos with a few lines of code. It's also hard to trace. Cyber attackers can hide their tracks, making it difficult to know who's responsible. That creates a level of plausible deniability. No one's officially pulling the trigger, so to speak. And in today's hyper-connected world, geography offers no protection. A hacker in one country can strike targets on the other side of the globe, often without setting foot outside their home. Another big factor: cyber warfare allows weaker nations or groups to punch above their weight. Countries that can't compete with major military powers can still cause significant disruption with digital attacks. But cyber warfare is messy. It blurs the lines between crime, espionage, and outright acts of war. State-sponsored hackers might steal secrets, sabotage systems, or even fund criminal groups, all under the radar. Groups like APT-28 and APT-10, believed to be backed by Russia and China respectively, have been linked to global cyber campaigns. Meanwhile, criminal ransomware attacks often cross over into geopolitics, making it harder to tell who's behind the keyboard. Looking to the future, cyber warfare is only expected to grow. Artificial intelligence, automation, and ever more connected devices mean that the stakes and the vulnerabilities are increasing. Nations are scrambling to build cyber defenses, and NATO now recognizes cyberspace as a legitimate battlefield alongside land, sea, air, and even space. But here's the reality. No system is invincible. The next major conflict may not start with tanks rolling across borders. It might begin with a cyber attack, shutting down power grids, crashing financial markets, or flooding the internet with false information, all before anyone fires a single shot. Cyber warfare has changed the rules. It's fast, silent, often invisible, but its impact can rival even the most traditional military campaigns. The battlefield of the future isn't just physical, it's digital, and whether we like it or not, those battles are already being fought. I hope you enjoyed that episode of 5-Minute Warfare from 5minutewarfare.com. If you did, please leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you would like to support us more directly, please consider buying us a coffee. Head on over to 5minutewarfare.com/coffee to see how. You may also be interested in our other 5-minute podcasts. Check them out at 5minuteproductions.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.